Welcome to Smart English Stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories. Improving English speaking skills is a journey many people start because they want to communicate better. Whether it's for work, school, or just everyday conversations, being able to speak English well is important. But for some people, speaking in English can be hard. It may be difficult because they don't feel confident or because they don't know enough words to express themselves. Some people feel nervous when they have to speak in front of others. But no matter the reason, there are ways to improve English speaking skills. One of the first things to remember is that practice is key. If you want to improve at anything, you need to do it often. This is true for English as well. The more you speak, the better you will get. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. It's normal to make mistakes when you are learning something new. The important thing is not to be afraid of those mistakes. They are part of the learning process. One way to practice speaking is to find a language partner. This can be someone who also wants to improve their English, or it can be someone who already speaks English well. Talking with another person will help you get used to the flow of conversation. You will learn how to respond to different questions, how to ask for more information, and how to keep a conversation going. It's a good way to practice without feeling too much pressure. Another good idea is to listen to how native speakers talk. You can do this by watching movies, listening to music, or even watching videos online. Pay attention to the words they use, how they pronounce them, and how they connect their thoughts. This will help you understand the natural rhythm and tone of English. It's also helpful to repeat what you hear. You can pause the video or the song and then try to say the sentence just like the person did. This will improve both your pronunciation and your confidence. Reading out loud is another great way to improve your speaking skills. Choose a book, a magazine, or even an article online and read it out loud to yourself. This will help you practice speaking clearly. It will also help you with pronunciation because you'll come across new words and have to figure out how to say them. Reading out loud also builds your confidence because it gets you used to hearing your own voice speaking English. If you want to improve faster, you should set goals for yourself. For example, you can aim to learn 10 new words each week and use them in conversation. Or you can set a goal to speak English for 30 minutes every day. When you set goals, you give yourself something to work toward. It also makes it easier to track your progress and see how much you've improved over time. Just remember to keep your goals realistic. Don't expect to become fluent overnight. Learning a language takes time, and it's okay to take small steps. One common problem that people face is the fear of making mistakes. They worry that if they say something wrong, people will laugh at them or judge them. But the truth is, Everyone makes mistakes when they're learning something new. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. The important thing is to keep trying. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make. And when you do make a mistake, it's a chance to learn something new. Another problem is that people often feel like they don't know enough words. They feel stuck because they can't think of the right word to use in a conversation. If this happens to you, try not to panic. You can always use simple words to express your idea. For example, if you don't know the word delicious, you can say very good instead. As you continue to practice, you'll learn more and more words, and your vocabulary will grow. One useful tip is to learn phrases, not just single words. When you know common phrases, it's easier to put sentences together. For example, instead of just learning the word food, learn the phrase when I'm hungry or what's for dinner. These are phrases that you'll use often, and they'll help you sound more natural when you speak. Knowing phrases also helps you avoid awkward pauses in conversations. It's also helpful to talk to yourself in English when you're alone. This might feel a little strange at first, but it's a good way to practice. You can talk about your day, what you're doing, or even plan what you're going to say in your next conversation. Talking to yourself helps you practice forming sentences without any pressure. It also helps you think in English, which is an important step in becoming more fluent. When you are learning a new language, it's important to be patient with yourself. You won't be perfect right away, and that's okay. Learning a language takes time, and everyone learns at their own pace. Some days you might feel like you've made a lot of progress, and other days it might feel like you're stuck. But don't give up. If you keep practicing, you will get better over time. One thing that can help you stay motivated is to celebrate your successes. When you reach a goal, no matter how small it is, take a moment to feel proud of yourself. Maybe you had a conversation in English without any mistakes, or maybe you learned a new word that you were able to use. These are all achievements, and it's important to recognize them. Celebrating your progress will help you stay positive and keep working toward your larger goals. It's also important to get feedback from others. If you're practicing with a language partner, ask them to correct you when you make a mistake. Sometimes we don't realize we're saying something wrong until someone points it out. Getting feedback will help you learn from your mistakes and improve faster. Just remember, feedback is meant to help you, not to make you feel bad. Everyone needs correction when they're learning something new. If you don't have a language partner, you can still get feedback by recording yourself. You can use your phone or your computer to record a conversation or even just a few sentences. Then, listen to the recording and pay attention to how you sound. Are you pronouncing the words correctly? Do you sound confident? Are you speaking too fast or too slow? By listening to yourself, you'll be able to notice things that you might not have realized while you were speaking. Another great way to improve is by joining an English-speaking group. Many cities have groups where people meet to practice speaking English together. This is a great opportunity to meet new people and practice in a supportive environment. You'll get to hear different accents and speaking styles, which will help you understand English better. Plus, it's a fun way to learn. Using technology can also be a big help. There are many apps and websites designed to help people improve their English speaking skills. Some of these apps allow you to practice with native speakers, while others offer exercises to help you with pronunciation and vocabulary. Using these tools can make learning more interactive and fun. They are also a great way to practice when you don't have anyone to talk to in person. It's also important to build your confidence when speaking English. Sometimes, people know a lot of English, but they're too shy to speak. They might worry about their accent or that they won't be understood. But the truth is, most people are more focused on the message than on how perfectly you speak. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Start with small conversations and gradually work your way up to longer ones. One way to build confidence is to prepare in advance. If you know you're going to have a conversation in English, think about what you want to say ahead of time. You can practice saying the sentences out loud so that when the time comes, you feel more prepared. This can help reduce the nervousness you might feel about speaking. Another tip is to slow down when you're speaking. Sometimes, people rush through their sentences because they're nervous, but this can make it harder to understand what you're saying. It's okay to take your time. Speaking slowly and clearly will make it easier for the other person to understand you, and it will give you more time to think about what you want to say next. If you find that you often run out of things to say, try asking more questions. This keeps the conversation going and gives you more opportunities to practice speaking. For example, if someone tells you about their weekend, you can ask, "What did you do?" or "Did you have fun?" Asking questions shows that you're interested in the conversation, and it also helps you practice forming sentences. It's also important to remember that fluency is not the same as perfection. You don't need to speak without any mistakes to be fluent. Fluency means being able to communicate your ideas clearly, even if you make some mistakes along the way. So, focus on getting your message across rather than worrying about being perfect. One of the best ways to improve is to immerse yourself in the language. If possible, try to spend time in an English-speaking environment. This could mean traveling to an English-speaking country or simply spending time with English speakers. The more you surround yourself with the language, the more comfortable you'll become with it. You'll start to pick up on common expressions and phrases, and you'll get used to hearing and speaking English in everyday situations. If you can't travel, You can still immerse yourself in English by changing the language settings on your phone, watching English TV shows, or reading English books. The more you expose yourself to the language, the faster you'll improve. It's also helpful to keep a journal in English. You can write about your day, your thoughts, or even your goals. This will help you practice writing in English, which will also improve your speaking skills. Lastly, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. If you always stay in your comfort zone, it will be harder to improve. Try speaking with people who are more advanced than you. They might use words and phrases that you don't know yet, but that's a good thing. It will push you to learn new things. You can also challenge yourself by giving presentations in English or joining a debate club. These activities will help you practice speaking in front of others and will build your confidence. In conclusion, improving your English speaking skills takes time and effort, but it's definitely possible. The key is to practice as much as you can and not to be afraid of making mistakes. Whether you're talking with a language partner, practicing on your own, or using technology, every bit of practice helps. Just remember to stay patient, set goals, and celebrate your progress along the way. You'll find that with time, your speaking skills will improve, and you'll feel more confident in your ability to communicate in English.